Hello friends, welcome to our online channel. Myself Chetan Jadhav. So in previous lecture we have seen that what is a group technology, part family and its types and some group technology methods. So in today's lecture we are going to see what is called as machine cell designs. It is also one of the types of the group technology cells. So we'll just see what is the machine cell. So in that five type is there. In that first, single machine, multiple machine with manual handling, multiple machines with mechanized handling, flexible manufacturing cell and flexible manufacturing system. So we'll see one by one with the figure. So you can see in that figure A is that first, that is your single machine, only one machine having doing manufacturing operation with some workers. Okay, it is not a full automation. So you can see your work units, this is the raw material and this is a finished part after this. Okay, so this is the by using single machine we are going to manufacture. Okay, so this is the first type. Second is a multiple machine with a manual handling. There are n number of machine in second figure B with manual handling. Okay, there is some 10% 50% involvement of the workers. So there are 3 to 4 machines. Then you can see here, this is the first your raw material that will be transferred from the machine 1 to machine 2, machine 3, like this. We are doing different operations at different machines with manual handling. Okay, there is a no handling system. So this is the second type. And third type is multiple machines with mechanized handling. Figure 3C, we can see here one conveyor is there. There is no need to the material handle with the manually. So you can see there is machines, worker is there, but we are transferring one that raw material from one place to another place by using various material handling system. In that AGV is there, conveyor is there. So this is the third type. And fourth type, that is a flexible manufacturing cell. You can see in that flexible manufacturing cell there is no workers, that is a fully automated machine. So whatever that raw material is there, that we are going to transfer from one place to another place by using AGV or conveyor. And you can see in that machine there is no worker, fully automated machine. Once we have to provide that program, that will be working for the further manufacturing processes. And last one, that is a flexible manufacturing system. In that system you can see this is also full automated system. So here loading unloading station is there, parts in, and that going through the required workstations, and after completing this they are phase out outside the parts out section. So that is your finished and good ones. Okay, so these are the some types of the machine cells designs. This is only just information purpose for your how to we are going to manufacture with different machine cell design. Okay, so we'll see the next part. That is the important part, that is the classification and codification. So classification and codification of material are steps in maintaining store in systematic way. Materials are classified in such a way that storing, issuing and identifying of material become easy. This is a basically main funda of this classification codification, because in a such a way that we will get some idea about the storing, issuing, identifying the material at the time of the manufacturing. So that one is easy. Generally materials are classified on the basis of their nature. Materials can also be classified on the basis of quality and utility. For example, material can be classified as a raw material, consumable store, components, spares and tools. So like this we can classify the different in groups, thus classifying materials on different bases such as nature, quality and utility is called as classification of material. So basic purpose of this classification, so we have to it is easy to identify, store and issuing the material. So for the purpose of the identification and convenience in storage and issue material, each item of the material is given a distinct name. Such a process of giving distinct name and symbol to different items of materials is called as codification of the material. So this is the definition of the codification. First we have to classify, afterwards we have to give some codification for that purpose. So all the items are grouped to, so that each item of store will be continuously codified on alphabetically, numerically and alphanumerically basis and given a distinctive store code number. Okay, so we'll see there are different types of the codification, how we can give the codification for that particular part. So first part is numerical codification system, means we can give as a first number as a n 1 2 3 4. So this is the codification for the certain part. Second, alphabetically codification system means we can give as a alphanumeric letters A B C, like this, X Y Z. Okay. Third one is alphanumerical codification system, means we have to combine both one numeric and alphabetically, like A 1 2, like A B 3 4 5, like this. And last, decimal codification system, like we can give as a coding as a decimal number 10.1 1.2, like this something you can give as a codification in this 4 types. So these are the types of the codification. Now you can see some basic structure of the OPTIS part classification and coding system. OPTIS is one of the type of the giving the classification codification system. So you can see here there are one first column is in digit, second is description. Suppose I am going to give up as a codification number 1 for any certain number, so that part digit 1 indicates that shape of that part, second digit indicates the external shape features, and the third one is machining, fourth one is that surfaces. Like this digits indicates the particular operation for that number. So this is the OPTIS system of structure of the giving classification codification of the system. So this is one of the example you can see here. This is also second flow chart of the coding system. Here digit 1 indicates the part class, 0 digit at length and diameter ratio is less than or equal to 0.5, like this. First digit, second digit shape, third is machining, like this. Every digit having some description, so that will be give more information regarding that part. Then this is some example related to the OPTIS class part codification. So we will take the one example of the OPTIS part classification codification system. Example, first, a part coded with 20801. This is the type of the codification which numerical codification system. Okay, so in that 2 number indicates the part has length and diameter ratio is greater or equal to 3. Okay, 0 no shape element, 8 operating thread, 0 no surface machining, 1 is part is axial. Like this we have to give classification and codification for the part. Okay, so we'll see advantages of the classification and codification, how we will get benefit from this classification codification. So first one is a quick and easy identification. We can easily identify and just pick up that particular part for the further processing. Proper material control, from this we can control the material also, secrecy of the material, saving in material handling time, because of we can easily identify the particular part, so it will be save our material handling time also. Elimination of the chances of the wrong issue, so easily we can identify the required part, so it will be also eliminate the wrong chances to pick up the wrong part. So we will see next important point, that is computer aided process planning. computer aided process planning is it is a nothing but linkage between a CAD and CAM. Okay, it is a process or it is a method of automatically generating sequence of manufacturing operation with the help of the computer. So you can see here one figure is there in terms of the flowchart. So first it is input based solid modeling, then afterwards we have to go for processing, and afterwards we will get the some output as a process plan. Okay, so this is one of the definition of the CAPP. It is a standard method to automatically generate the sequence of manufacturing operation with the help of the computer. Second one, it is a bridge between design and manufacturing by translating design specification into manufacturing process details. Or it is main idea to develop the computer aided process planning to structure the data concerning part design, manufacturing facilities and capabilities into categories. Computer aided process planning is a method of automatically generating sequence of manufacturing operations, and computer aided process planning provides the opportunity to produce a manufacturing routines which are rational and constant. Okay, so this is the CAPP. We can call as this is the bridge between design and manufacturing department. So there are some computer aids is key factor in the integration of the CAD CAM. So we can see the use of the computers in process planning, how they can help you systematically produce accurate and consistent process plan. By using this computer we will get the systematic accuracy and process plans, reduce the cost and lead time of the processing planning, so it will be save over time, reduce skill requirements of process planners, so and automatically increase the productivity of the process planners, interface application programs such as work standards, cost estimation and lead time estimation. So that will be also more benefits. Consistently optimize process routines, they are continuously optimize our whole process plans routines, reduce pre-production lead times, increase responsiveness to engineering changes. What are the changes in programs, they will responsive to that engineering changes, so that is also benefit. Next part is computer aided process planning could have to following some characteristics. In that first one is CAPP must be capable of the understanding and analyzing the parts characteristics. Means that computer aided process planning must know that how that part is having some material property and specification. CAPP must possesses knowledge of machine tools, cutting tool and related manufacturing information, so that machine tool, cutting tool and manufacturing information should know the all information of these parameters. CAPP must possesses multiple calculating capabilities, so that computer process planning have multiple capability to doing all the calculations. Okay, so these are the some characteristics of the CAPP. So for today's lecture we will stop here. In next lecture we will see there are two approaches for the CAPP. So thank you so much.
Hopefully you might have enjoyed the lecture. Then please do like the video and know your thoughts in comments. Please do share this video among your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. After subscription you can press the bell icon to never miss the notification regarding our new videos. Thank you so much.